We just got here just a little early.
I'm glad. I was hoping y'all wouldn't be in there.
I enjoyed looking at all
That's
this.
the truth, yeah.
And look, we got Dr. Jackson here. We got Mr. Hamm. And Mr. Hamm, did you go to school here? We were trying to clarify this. You keep on saying you're younger than everybody.
Yes,
Okay.
I was in this building
All right.
as a sophomore in 1971 and 2, and
Did you bring in any animals? Because apparently you can bring in like a donkey and a monkey.
well, you know, I told John, I said that was the original. Do the pony. Do the pony.
Oh, is that what it was? This is going to be an interesting hour coming up, folks.
So, but no, I was here. It was my first year that the school system had desegregated. I was at Horton.
Right.
Because there was not enough room anywhere. The plans for Northwood were being drawn up and everything. And then over here in 10th grade, and then 11th grade, we went into the new Northwood.
Right.
So it's has a lot of meaning to the community.
So this was originally an elementary school. Is that what it was?
Well, it's wore many hats.
Okay.
The original high school was next door where the sheriff's office is.
All right.
And it was a 3-story Gothic type structure. That's just the way they built schools back then. And it just got too old, so it was just time to come down. Well, when they took it down, the commissioners at the time said that's a great place to put the new sheriff's office in front of the elementary school up the hill. Makes a lot of sense. Well, it got built. This was still being used by Pittsboro Elementary because this was long before North Chatham was ever built. And at one point, Pittsboro Elementary got over 900 students, but they were classes down here, and they would walk up and down the hill to art and all that kind of stuff. And then when we went to Northwood, and Northwood opened, this building became a permanent. All the offices cleared out, and that became permanent classrooms for the elementary school. So that took care of a need right then.
Right.
So, yeah, it's got a lot of history, and I'm glad that the classmates could get together.
Now, when did it turn into a central office facility?
When we went to Northwood.
Okay.
Yeah. So, you know, within a very short period of time. Because before that, the central office was in the old courthouse in the corner. And if you go back far enough, and people could correct me on this, but I know there was like 3 central officemen, Mr. Harrison and Mr. Cotton, I think Miss Bynum. And that was the central office. Different time, different place, but yeah, it's and part of it not expanding was because they were literally like a little corner of the building down there, and that was what Chatham County Schools was.
Right.
So, bigger and better.
So what's your favorite memory of this place?
I guess French.
French.
Yeah, Miss Kidd. Now, her husband, Mr. Kidd, was the principal at Pittsboro Elementary when it opened up as an elementary school. Because going back before Pittsboro High School, it was still called Pittsboro High School, but at the time, it was a 1 through 12 school, like everywhere. And so they built the elementary school up on the hill. Funny thing about the elementary school, I guess they had budget problems back then too. The 2 wings were built in 1960. And 3 years later, they put the wing on the back to connect everything where the library is and more classrooms. So I always joked with the parents when I was there that, you know, there were budget problems back then, just like any other time. And then, let's see. After, and the central office stayed here till just a few months ago.
Right, because now they're over by the. Hey, you were talking about putting things
Thank
over
you.
by the dump
Well, by the dump
and the animal shelter.
And it's also here they built the new sheriff's office in front of a school. We build the central service building across the street from the jail. I couldn't understand that, but that's where it is.
And you were the principal at the school for how many years?
I was at Pittsboro for 10 years.
Okay.
And then before that, Bondley, and then assistant principal at Siler City. And I started teaching first grade at Pittsboro.
Right. Do you remember any of that French you learned back then?
Oh, the French question. That's right. Yeah, Miss Kidd and I had an understanding. It was not really spoken, but, and I say this jokingly, she would rather me not be in class, and I'd rather not be in class. But at the time, if you had 3 years of foreign language, and that even meant that passing, that meant a D even, then your foreign language requirement in college was waived. So I went through and suffered my 3rd year with Miss Kidd. But no, wonderful lady and all. It's just
So basically, David, you're telling me you don't remember any French and you didn't learn anything.
I do.
Okay.
French fry.
French fries. There you go.
There we go.
The wisdom of David Hamm here in Pittsboro. Look, we're going to go talk to some other folks and find out what they enjoyed about the school besides maybe French class.